let's briefly talk about my impressions of the VIS carbon fiber racing hood. So, man, I don't even know where to begin. The hood looks cool. Don't get me wrong, in person the hood is just mind-blowing how good it looks. It's also kind of shocking that the hood is not any lighter, really, than my factory sport hood. So that's kind of a shocker. With that being said, let's talk about the pros and the cons of the hood. Obviously, a pro is the hood looks good. You got this single scoop. That's cool. I've been running it without hood pins. I called VIS about this, and they will tell you that they only recommend the hood pins because a lot of people forget to latch the hood because, I don't know, they're idiots. I don't know. You know, I don't know why you would forget to latch your hood, but that's neither here nor there. But they said you could run it without hood pins, it's fine. But they always recommend them for safety reasons. This is my second drive with the hood. My first drive was 2 days ago. Running late for work, flying down the road. About 75, 80, this hood shakes. It shakes like a bitch, I ain't gonna lie to you. It starts flapping and whatever. I would feel better with hood pins, and eventually maybe I'll do hood pins. Maybe. We'll see. The second thing is air gets under this hood. This hood in the back is very high. I'll have to show it to you sometime. But this hood is very high. It does not sit on the seal on the windshield. With that being said, air comes under that to the windshield, and it lifts and it flaps your windshield wipers at higher speeds. Again, 75, 85, everything starts flapping. To be honest with you, with the hood flapping, with the windshield washers flapping at 80 miles an hour, that's kind of a letdown. It's a big letdown for me anyway, because if you are out there hot rodding around, racing, street racing and everything, once you hit 80 and all that shit starts flapping, then what? I haven't got any faster than that to see what happens, but you know, that's the big question. What is going to happen? If you're out there and you gotta slow down, you're fucking around racing your buddy, he's got a truck, or you're racing against cars or whatever, and you gotta stop. You could win the race, but you gotta stop because this shit's flapping around. It's a big disappointment in that respect. As far as everything else goes, the hood's fantastic. Looks cool. Man, everything about it's fucking cool. Installation's very easy. It's very bolt-on. It's got no provisions for your under hood light. It's got, it does have the windshield washer holes in it for your nozzles, but you'll have to get aftermarket ones. The factory Dodge ones won't fit it. Also, there's no provisions for the windshield washer what do you want to call them? The lines. There's nothing to hang the lines on. Now I got something in the works. I will show it. I will make an update. I will show you what I did to make that happen. But it does not come with any types of provisions for that. I'll also show you how I'm going to mount the underhood light. Construction of the hood, and I'll link that in this video, but construction of the hood's fantastic, and like I said, outside of that shaking, that vibration, and the windshield washer, windshield wipers going fucking nutty at higher speeds, outside of those two things, I really don't have any qualms or anything about this hood. It does sit up a bit high. I wish it was a bit, the top was just a bit lower, or it sat a bit lower, because I mean, I'm driving down the road right now and that thing's open so high, I'm looking right now, I'm looking into the engine bay, and I think that's kind of fucked up, you know, looking into the engine bay. If I had a Veraram intake, I could look at it right now. I mean, that's kind of fucked up, but it is what it is. I'll cut that off here. I'll show you the underside of the hood, and then I'll make a follow-up when I do those modifications to get the windshield washer lines, sprayer lines, and the hood light. When I get those in place, I'll make an update. Okay, let's talk about some things about this VIS hood that I don't like. One of them is the fit and finish. Well, the finish is good, but the fit, not so much. If you look down here, you will see that the fender rides higher than the hood. The hood goes down lower than the ridge of the fender. And it's like that on both sides. It's actually really predominant on this side. So that's really, you know, one of the main things I don't like. The other thing is, look how high this hood sits up off of the cowling here. When you're driving, you can look down into your engine bay. Wind comes through this and it shakes the shit out of your windshield wipers. So if you go any faster than 70, between 70 and 80, expect to see shaky windshield wipers your whole trip. So that sucks big time. I don't know why they didn't bring this hood down lower to at least protect your windshield wipers some, but I guess that's just the way it goes. Yeah, you can see a huge gap. And I've played with this. I've played with it to align it. And, whoops, let me zoom back. It doesn't matter which way you turn this hood. These corners, let me back up here. These corners, one of them is always going to be super tight. Super, super tight. and when you go to shut the hood, it'll rub. That's why I cannot get rid of that massive gap. I've played with it. I've played with it. Now this side, the gap isn't too bad, but just look how close that's. Super close. These angles aren't right as far as coming down and across. You would expect for $1,400-$1,500 that this thing would be exactly the same as factory, but it's not. So those are just some of the small quirks about this hood, and you can push and pull the fender. You know, I did that. I unloosened the bolts. I pushed the fender in a little bit. It didn't help out any. But if you want a cool looking hood that doesn't fit well, this is the hood for you. That's for sure.